repeat it. I cast down every imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. And I take all my thoughts captive and I bring them to the obedience of Christ Jesus. I gotta make them obedient to Christ Jesus, right? And so I found myself speaking that word out loud when I'm having these different things that's trying to intrude on my thought process. You know what I mean? But I realized something. I had I guess I would say a revelation about that word. I done said it so much, y'all. And I stand on the word. I really do. I stand on the word and I expect to see results. But one thing about it is, and this is to be true, sometimes, man, even though I've spoken the word, right, I hadn't really seen what I was looking for. And I asked myself, well, why? You know, what am I doing wrong? Because the word is true. What God said works, right? What God says works, right? So what is the problem? And I realized the other day, you know, I'm speaking the word, but I'm not necessarily doing that word. You know what I mean? And I noticed that is like always the problem. If I'm speaking the word at this point, and I'm thinking the word and speaking the word, but I don't find myself doing the word, then that's where the problem come in at. And it seems simple enough to be said. You know what I'm saying? Faith without works is dead. Don't just be a hearer of the word, but a doer of the word. You know what I'm saying? We know these things, but sometimes every word that I've received from the Lord, I don't really know how to quite apply it yet. You know what I mean? So I'm still learning. So anyway, I said to myself, I was having more thoughts that pop up in my head, man. And I said, okay, I'm repeating this word. I'm saying it out loud, standing on that. And normally it'll shift. I get back to thinking what I'm supposed to be thinking, but it'll come back. And I said, you know what? It dawned on me, I'm not taking my thoughts captive. What I'm trying to do is get rid of them. I'm trying to push them out. You know, some of the ones that come from me, from that emerge and is influenced, you know, by the enemy, you know, because God said that whatever I think of, let it be true, righteous, noble, admirable, excellent, praiseworthy. You know, those are the type of things that I should think when I think. You know what I mean? But rather than me trying to push these thoughts out and push them to the side, I have to actually take that thought and make it obedient. You know? So I said, well, how do I do that? Obviously, at this point, I'm confused. But I take that thought and I reframe that thought. And you know where I get that from? I'm on an app. When I find myself certain weaknesses in my life, I try to figure out how to improve myself. You know what I'm saying? How to go about, you know, right now, I'm chunky. I got to work out. So that's what I'm on, trying to work out. You know what I'm saying? If my speaking, it sucks, you know what I'm saying? And I find it not to be at the level I wanted to be at, which is what I find. Then I go and I look for how do I